back to For Real, and welcome to the Wednesday News Moto, where I read the news while you listen and watch some footage of beautiful Cambodia. For Real is a monetised channel, and we donate our YouTube income to charities in Cambodia. Here is the total we have donated so far. More detail is in the description of each video. We've just donated our August payment, and the total you see here reflects that. Wherever you're watching from, thank you for being here, and please remember to like, subscribe and leave a comment. It really does help. The more people who watch, the more we earn and the more we can donate. We'd like to thank Kelly from YouTube channel Autumn in Asia for providing today's countryside ride. Here's a map showing exactly where he went. Be sure to check out Autumn in Asia for some great current content from in and around Siem Reap. The link is in the description. Today is Wednesday, the 31st of August. In this episode, we'll see why people are upset about the Miss Grand Cambodia pageant. We'll look into a prisoner clemency request, the government's plan to eradicate orphanages, and we'll look at the latest from the garment industry. First up today though, let's do a tourism update. Some 70% of hotels and guest houses in Cambodia have resumed their operations after the pandemic, the Ministry of Tourism said in a report on Monday. The report said some 520 out of a total of 739 hotels and guest houses in the kingdom have so far reopened, as 190 continued to halt their businesses and 29 permanently closed. 2,166 restaurants, or 85.6% of the kingdom's 2,529 restaurants, have so far resumed their operations, as 363 establishments are still either suspended or closed. At the moment, around 5,000 international visitors are coming into Cambodia each day, and 700 to 800 a day are making their way into Siem Reap province. But what's up with Miss Grand Cambodia? Why are so many people up in arms over a beauty pageant? Well, there are two reasons. The first is to do with an outfit worn by one of the entrants, and the second is to do with scenes of gambling that featured cards and dice. Each province put forward a hopeful candidate in the Miss Grand Cambodia competition, but it was the representatives from Banteay Meanchey, Svay Rieng and Stung Treng who caused the stir. Miss Stung Treng's outfit was variously said to be inappropriate, obscene, erotic, and bordering on nudity. The outfit made use of flesh-coloured undergarments that left little to the imagination, and this raised hackles and temperatures all over the country. The dress was no more revealing than many of the outfits you see in a Western shopping mall, but Cambodian women are frequently told to dress in a modest fashion. The program also drew harsh criticism for the depiction of Banteay Meanchey and Svay Rieng provinces by their representatives. These two entrants chose to highlight the casino culture that exists in these border provinces. The women were depicted with oversized dice and playing cards that seemed to promote gambling and show a very damaging and narrow view of the two provinces. With Angkor Wat as the backdrop, many viewers were unhappy with the pageant organisers. With all of this controversy, you might forget to ask who won. Well, I'm here to tell you that it was Miss Sihanoukville. Srey Sat Pikvatay Saravat took home the crown in a modest dress without tarnishing the reputation of her province. 26 prisoners in Kandal Province Prison requested clemency on the occasion of the upcoming water festival. The prisoners have to be evaluated, and they must be found to be good role models to other prisoners and be encouraging positive change in the prison population. This could be shown through attending vocational training and integration programs available in the prison. Cambodia permits clemency for prisoners on several occasions, such as Khmer New Year, Visak Bachir Day and the Water Festival. The committee overseeing the requests reduced the list from 26 to 20 inmates. 15 received a 3-month sentence reduction, 3 had 9 months taken off their prison term, and the remaining 2 received 12-month reductions. The Cambodian government has committed to finding homes and families for 5,440 orphans by 2023. The children will be reintegrated into society by allowing them to live with relatives or processing their adoptions to new parents. There are 199 orphanages in Cambodia, with most being run by the private sector. The understanding that orphanages affect children's physical, cognitive and mental development is becoming more widespread. The vast majority of children living in orphanages in Cambodia have living family members, often even parents. It's not a simple problem to fix because the poverty and lack of livelihoods of the parents or family that caused the situation in the first place need to be addressed before the child can be returned. Dealing with these concerns is exactly what Cambodian Children's Trust does, and they are one of the charities that you have supported this month by watching our videos. Let's have a quick look at the situation with garment factories. There were 3 stories of interest, and I'll combine them quickly here for you. Number 1. In the period from January to July, the US remained the world's biggest buyer of Cambodian goods, accounting for 41.36% of the market. In July alone, Cambodian exports to the US were worth $1.047 billion, representing a 43.82% of the kingdom's total exports of $2.391 billion. That's huge. Number 2, garment factory workers' union representatives have asked for a $21 increase in the basic salary for 2023, taking it to $215 a month, while the Garment Manufacturers Association in Cambodia wants to keep the wages at $194. And number 3, another garment factory in Kandal province has shut, and its 274 workers are staging sit-in protests around the clock for their salary and seniority pay. The owner shut the factory on the 8th of August without any notice. Since then, the workers have been guarding the factory entrance in turns to prevent the owner from removing the factory equipment. They believe, because they've seen it happen before, that the owner intends to open a new factory without paying previous staff what they are owed, and they will pay the new staff less. Some of the existing workers have been at the factory for 18 years. In May, nearly 400 garment workers from another factory nearby lost their jobs in a similar way. Moving on to some he-did-it activity, a man is regretting his theft from a Phnom Penh factory. One of a gang of 4, he is the only one currently in custody. Police reunited the victim with the stolen goods, and that included 1 welding station, 2 desktop computers, 1 steel motor, 4 polishing motors, and 30 cases of solar bulbs. They did it. A gang of Phnom Penh phone thieves, whose modus operandi appeared to be operating semi-naked, have been arrested by police. The 3 suspects on 2 motorbikes had snatched a mobile phone from a young man and tried to escape on a motorbike, but the victim chased the motorbike, causing it to fall. Onlookers then detained the criminals until authorities could intervene. The victim pointed the finger at the thieves and left no doubt as to their identity. But maybe putting on some clothes would have helped with the phone snatching. Only if you choose your items wisely, though. A thief who disguised himself as either a cow or a Dalmatian was caught in the act yesterday. Moving on to moto madness. A Phnom Penh drunk slept his way through a crash in which a tuk-tuk was flipped onto its side early on Friday morning. A white Lexus RX 300 car, driven by a man in an extreme state of intoxication, smashed into a tuk-tuk. The drunk travelled for a distance and then fell asleep in his car, oblivious to the chaos he had caused. Luckily, the tuk-tuk occupants had only slight injuries. Late on Sunday night, a foreign driver saw things from a new perspective when he flipped his car at high speeds in a central Phnom Penh street. Sources from the scene said that before the incident, the foreign man was seen driving a Toyota Prius at high speed. He hit a road divider and found his vehicle flipped over. Elsewhere that same night in Phnom Penh, a drunk foreign national caused chaos at a petrol station. According to sources at the scene, a silver Highlander car, driven by a drunk Chinese man, was travelling at a high speed. It proceeded to crash from behind into a white Toyota Prius. The unfortunate Prius was propelled into the gas station, causing extensive damage. 3 men who took a drunken joyride on an ice truck in Phnom Penh early on Sunday morning are fighting for their lives after they plunged the truck into a sewer at high speed. Whilst crossing a bridge over a sewer, they lost control of the vehicle and plummeted from the bridge into the sewer below. A spectacular high-speed crash took place on a prominent Phnom Penh boulevard early this morning. Sources at the scene said that prior to the incident, a man was seen driving a blue Toyota Prius along Monavong Boulevard from south to north. Suddenly, a white Lexus RX 350, driven by a man travelling along Street 214 in the direction from east to west, smashed into the Prius at high speed. Massive damage was caused to the Prius. The Lexus driver then fled the scene. Let's have a look at the weather around Cambodia. There's still a lot of rain around much of the place, although we are seeing a hot end to the week. Temperatures are a bit lower early next week, with Kampot experiencing a high of just 28 degrees on Tuesday. Let's finish up today with a quick good news story. Takeo will become another mine-free province after some 3.62 square kilometres of contaminated land will be cleared before the end of this year. While this seems like a small step, it's absolutely a step in the right direction and wonderful news. That brings us to the end of this week's news. You're now up to date with all of the most important events in the kingdom. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Autumn in Asia, for providing today's ride. I'm sure you'll agree it was great to get out of the city and see some rural life in the countryside. As always, links to the stories mentioned will be in the description. Take care, have a great week, and we'll see you very soon.